That's good. Before one can preach the grace gospel, they must understand it and preach it to themselves. Yeah, absolutely. That's true. That's so true. And we talked about how, and Peter walked with Jesus, and Peter saw the miracles. He was at the Mount of Transfiguration. I mean, but none of that made Peter really get past this. So we just talked about the difficulty of getting past something that you have been steeped in for a very long time. It's just difficult. It's difficult for believers. It's just difficult. It doesn't mean you can't, but it's difficult. So what we got to learn from it is it's difficult. So there's no need in, it's just difficult. We know it's going to be difficult. So sometimes you just got to find Paul. Okay, Paul's got to reach them because it's going to be all right. That doesn't mean that they can't do what Peter's going to do now and be used by God, but they're not going to be the ones to carry it to the next level because of their own way they view things. It's just hard. This is hard to get it out. Okay. All right. So let's jump into this because I do want to finish this. So today, Mark, can you go to verse 24? So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through it and ask you some questions and stop just to make sure we get through it. So verse 24. So Peter's going to meet Cornelius. And the following day, so we're in Acts chapter 10, verse 24. And this is the New King James translation. Yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry. You can't see Miss Rosie. You got it? Okay. It says, and the following day, I'll wait till Miss Rosie gets back to her Bible because I know she's in her Bible. They entered Caesarea, which is exactly what you said. Remember the map? The map, Peter went from the persecution that was up in the areas where, remember, going all the way back to Simon the sorcerer. Remember that? They come back down to Jerusalem. After that, then he goes to Joppa. If you can see that map in your head, now he's going up to Caesarea. Caesarea is about 40 miles from Joppa. Now Cornelius was waiting for them and had called together his relatives and close friends. Let's stop right there. So Cornelius, I just thought this is so fascinating that you got to put yourself in this text. That here's a Roman leader, Roman official, Roman centurion who is following the Jewish faith as best he can. He's got this vision. Peter is on his way. He gets all of his family and close relatives together. What does that say for us? What does it say for us? I mean, there's a lot of verses we can just stop and say, wow. He is so concerned about them hearing whatever Peter has to say. And they don't even really know what Peter's going to say. Not really. He just know I got to hear from Peter. But he's got I want all my family, I want all these people to hear. He called together his relatives and his close friends. So look, I got you, Lethe. So not just his relatives, but also his close friends. Go ahead, Lethe. Amen.
And I wanted them to meet someone who I knew was I don't know what the word is, but better equipped to lead them to Christ. I didn't feel like I was fully equipped to lead them, although I knew the truth. But I wanted to make sure, so by bringing them to United and Ira and Rosie and others who were further along in their faith and stronger in their faith, I knew they were going to be that village that would help guide them to Christ and of course me as well. But I just knew that much that my faith wasn't as steep and I didn't understand so much that I felt confident to share, but I wanted them to know.
Amen.
And so I think that's kind of what Cornelius wanted his family and friends to meet Peter because he knew Peter.
Yeah.
Jesus and walk with Jesus. Yeah. He would be like the expert to share and get his family to know.
Yeah, and I don't even know if he knows that much about Peter except for what he saw in the dream. What he saw in the dream, he said, go tell them to tell Simon to come. Like, so that's all he really knows. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to share something on that. Yes, Miss Geraldine. Amen. 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 You're so right. And I want us to know here, United, people are doing that here at United. So people are bringing people that what Lethe said, like they don't know that much, but they're bringing people